Welcome to the session number 2 of product lifecycle management. In that module number 1, introduction to PLM and PDM for 8th semester mechanical engineering students. These are the main course objectives and course outcomes. The main course objectives are: familiarize with various strategies of PLM, understand the concept of product design and simulation, develop new product development, product structure and supporting systems, interpret technology, forecasting and product innovation and development in business process, and finally understand product building and product configuration. And then these are the main outcomes after studying all the modules. Describe the concept of product lifecycle management and its application in product development process. Apply the models of product lifecycle for product development process and select the appropriate product lifecycle management tools and systems to enhance the collaborative product development. Finally, analyze the strategies of product lifecycle management and emphasize the significance of digital manufacturing and product building structures. These are the main outline of this module number 1. Then already we will discuss about introduction to PLM, need for PLM, opportunities and benefits of PLM, different use of PLM in session number 1. Now we will start with components of PLM. In components of PLM, here PLM defines and includes various components that are necessary to transform ideas into products. Apart from satisfy companies' objectives, customer requirements, environmental objectives, and also commonly with certain regulations, the various components of PLM are listed below, and then these are the main PLM components, and then we will discuss one by one. First one is product and product data. In this, define the product specifications and what are the processes occurred in the producing the product. And then second one is organizational structure. In this, to develop and support the product throughout the product life span. And the next one is business processes and working methods. In that, describe activities, tasks, and what are the processes. And next one is information systems. In this includes some identify the people and information systems so to support the product. And then last component of PLM is interfaces and standards. In this includes about interface with other business activities and other systems. We'll discuss one by one. First we'll take first component of PLM. In this product and product data. Here a product may be a single part or a number of parts assembled together in order to perform a certain objective. The term product data includes all data and information related to both the product and processes that are used to imagine, design, produce, use, support and dispose the product. The data related to the product may be in the form of a technical specifications for manufacture and development, and then sometimes it also includes bill of materials record for building the product, and then cost involved in creation and launching the product, service required for the product, and then details regarding the feature modifications or any other information related to the product. The main thing is in product data is created in a suitable format, especially making use of computers and some related softwares so that the idea can be used throughout the product life cycle by you have to use all the peoples in the organization who are working with the product. Next component is organization structure. In organization structure, here refers to the way that an organization arranges people and jobs. That is, what are the tasks performed in the organization so that its works can be performed and its goals can be met. It is within the organization, the structure might consist of individual departments with specific names like production department, quality departments, HRD, human resource development, marketing development, etc. It also includes some sales as well as marketing, etc. And in this group of people associated with each department coming under the guidance of single head, or it's also called a decision maker. While outside the organization, contractors, subcontractors, suppliers, partners, customer suppliers, realtors, etc., retailers, etc., may be created accordingly. This organization structure varies depending upon the company and services offered. However, a clearly established structure helps grouping people, information, task, and then what are the workflow to enable an effective and efficient way of developing, manufacturing, and supporting products across its life cycle. Next component is business processes and working methods. In business processes can be imagined as a set of related activities or tasks which are designed to take the clearly defined inputs and transform them into a specific output. In these business processes and working methods, these are the inputs are made up of all the factors which contribute to the added value of a service or a product. And then these factors are categorized into management processes, operational processes, and supporting processes. Management processes govern the operation of a particular organization system of the operation. And then these operational processes constitute a core business. Business process management is a management discipline aimed to describe the managing and business processes in an organization. The main thing is in business processing and working methods, the main goal of this business process management is to achieve the organization objectives by aligning the business processes with the objectives and to continually improving these processes for all the overall organizational improvements. Main overallly, working methods describe regarding the specific instructions on how to safely perform a work-related task or to operate a piece of plant or equipment, etc. And then this application of continuous improvement principles in companies leads to the use of set of methods and tools in order to maximize levels of productivity, that is efficiency, product quality, and cost reduction. Well, considering all those things, as again also in a business process and working methods, supporting processes such as human resources and accounting are put in place to support the core processes. The manner in which the business processes are organized determines the success of any organization. Next model will go for this one, information systems. In information systems, the information systems are made of three distinct elements. In these information systems, the three different distinct elements are people, and then processes and technology. We will discuss one by one. First, we will take people. Here, PLM requires the participation of many people of various skills from throughout an extended enterprise. Each required the ability to access the operate on the inputs and the outputs of the participants. People may include outside the company or within the company. However, all of them have a role to manage a product across its life cycle. Some people have limited capabilities, while some equipped with robust capabilities capable of accomplishing complex tasks and under uncertain circumstances. Irrespective of their capabilities, it is the part of the organization to educate, train, and support the people so as to engage them in efficient goal achievement process. This is about people in the information system. Next distinguent element in information system is the processes. In processes refers to a procedure or a particular course of action intended to achieve a result. In each phase of the product life cycle, there are processes which may be specific to a product or a project or an or to an organization. They could include alliance management, contract preparation and review, delivery, design control, disposal, document control, engineering change management, handling inspection, and related to new product development, packaging processes control, product identification, product modification, and then project management, purchase quality assurance, quality control, recycling, service provision, and then service storage, and then different testing methods, traceability, and training processes. That means in this PLM enables all the product related processes to be carried out in a coherent way. And then another distinct element in information process is about technology. Here, technology refers to the collection of techniques, skills, methods, and processes used in the production of goods or services, or it's also nothing but in the accomplishment of certain objectives such as scientific investigation. The information technology in PLM includes the data or information from manual paper cards and records to sophisticated computer and software applications and systems, which enables people within the organization to perform their processes and practices in a much more efficient manner. The different types of informations include in PLM are analytical modes as designed, as built, as ordered, as delivered, as installed, and as maintained configurations. And then in technology is assembly drawings, uh, bill of materials, CAD geometry, estimating and costing data, customer requirements, design specifications, engineering drawings, existing product designs, factory layouts, field failure reports, flow charts, machine liabilities, and then maintenance information, machining related to programs, and then purchasing information, quality assurance data, test data files, test results, tools and fixture designs, user guides, user manuals, etc. And then we'll go for last uh, component in PLM, that is about interface and standards. Here, since many systems are available to improve the activities of the product workflow, and also many application systems being used, there is a need for interfaces to enable these systems to work together. That is the main objective of this interface and standards. The PLM product interfaces allows access to documents, design data and other information in a controlled manner, thereby allowing a better communication with respect to all aspects of product development. Product lifecycle management. In this solution support a wide range of critical standards issued by government regulatory bodies, professional engineering, manufacturing, quality and environmental societies. For example, we'll take the geometric dimensioning and tolerance standards need to be adopted during the design stage. The process planning and bill of materials standards for manufacturing, the ISO 9000 set of standards for quality management and quality assurance, etc. These standards provide the guidance and tools for companies and organizations who want to ensure that their products and services consistently meet customers' requirements and that quality is consistently improved. That is the main objective of this PLM modules. That completes this components of PLM. Next, we'll go for phases, different phases of PLM. Here in this different phases, here product life cycle model, and in each phase the product is in different state. The phases are described one by one. In this before that product life cycle model, while many people view and define PLM in a different way from others, there is one common goal in the concept of PLM. In this regard, PLM is defined as follows. That is, product life cycle management is defined as the integrated information driven approach comprised of people, processes and practices and technology to all aspects of the product's life, right from its design and manufacture to service and disposal of the product. In simple words, it is a systematic approach in managing the series of changes a product goes through right from its design and manufacture to its ultimate requirement or disposal. To be aware of the entire life of a product, there is a need to understand about all the aspects involved in the development of the product. The various aspects include people, processes, and practice, and the technology involved, all interlinked together for synchronous product development. To help in the understanding of PLM, visual models have been developed to understand the broad, broad concepts and the relationships existing between the various aspects of PLM. At the center of model, that is PLM model, I'll explain later. Okay, this is the major PLM phases. That is, uh, first one is create, next one is design, build, support, and then last one is service. In create, uh, this is the PLM model. At the center one is nothing but information core. In this different phases of this PLM model, first one is create, and then another one is build, support, and then finally is service. In create, here conceive, plan as well as specify, and then in design, in this refer to define, test as well as validate, and then in build, procedure, manufacture and assemble, and then support, here promote, market as well as sell, and then final one is not the support, this is a service. In service, here promote, market and sell out. In service, here you can use, maintain, service as well as dispose. In this model, we'll discuss one by one. First we'll take model create. Here this is the information core inside, and then apart from all the structures will around this PLM model. First one is create. In create, the first phase starts with the product requirement analysis and planning. For example, the functions of product must perform its feature and the requirements the product must meet. This conceptualization of the product is based on the idea or equipment of the company, customer, market or regulatory body's viewpoint. The major technical parameters of the product are defined accordingly and mapped into specifications. In parallel, the initial conceptual design work is performed by defining the aesthetics of the product together with its main functional aspects. The requirement analysis may be, for example, a ladder made of a certain material and height must be light in weight and withstand suitable weight, provide safety and easy to handle and store. The first phase must ensure that all the components that make up product are fully defined accordingly. And the next phase is design. In design stage, here product design is based on the conceptualization of the product. Here product design is based on the conceptualization of the product. It takes into account the details of how the product will perform its intended function in all efficient, safe and reliable manner. The product also needs to be capable of being made economically and to be attractive to the targeted customers. Keeping these in view, detailed design and development of the product starts, and all the components that make the product are fully defined in a mathematical based model or CAD is nothing but computer aided drafting specifications. The third phase, that is related to build. In this, the third phase involves the method of manufacturing the product. Here, the design of the product must be analyzed and the materials listed in the bill of materials must be procured. Further, the bill of process must be developed to specify the various operations and the sequence of operations that are to be carried out in order to manufacture the desired part. Once the components are manufactured, their geometrical form and size are checked and verified as per the design specifications. Individual parts are then assembled in a sequence to develop the complete product. And then next phase is in PLM model is the support. Here the next phase is the sales and distribution activities. Here the supporting team initially builds awareness of the product among the potential customers through advertisements, personal demonstrations, and through any other forms of media. The role of supporting team extends to many activities from strategic to tactical skills to promote, market, and sell the product. And then last phase of our model of PLM is nothing but service. In this, the final phase of the life cycle involves service and support information for repair and maintenance, as well as waste management is also nothing but recycling information. This helps customers to increase the length of the product life cycle. Further, there is an end of life to every product, whether it is disposable or destruction of material, objects, or information, which needs to be defined and strategized accordingly. If the product reaches end of life sooner than the expected, analysis need to be done in order to prevent such a short life by considering various factors like right from the product design, manufacturing usage, and service of the product, etc. This completes the different phases of PLM or PLM model. Next, we'll go for PLM feasibility study. Feasibility study is usually conducted in the initial conceptual or idea stage of the product development. The purpose of feasible study is to identify the potential problems and to determine whether the idea related in developing or modifying a product will work or not. The feasibility study should be concluded in the form of report so as to provide evidence for a project's effectiveness and to give supportive reasons for undertaking the project for developing or modifying the project or product. The conclusions will also discuss methods on how a proposed idea can succeed. And then these are the main feasibility study. The PLM feasibility study typically consists of these five following areas. Uh, First one is business or product description, and then market feasibility, technically feasibility, technical feasibility, organization feasibility, and then last one is financial or economically feasibility. We'll discuss one by one. First, we'll take business product or product description. In this business, the study mainly focuses on the objective of organization, methodology, facilities and equipments available, business processes, people, purpose of the product, its features and life cycle, product delivery, legal issues related to the product, etc. Studies related to the product will be based on the forecast of the existing and future demand or usage of the product, that is related to product description. And the next feature of this PLM feasibility study in this market feasibility. In market feasibility, the study mainly focuses on the current and future market potential, product demand, competition from other companies, sales estimations, and prospective buyers. Market analysis is critical to the success of a product and the organization. We'll go for next PLM feasibility study. This is nothing but a technical feasibility. In technical feasibility, it refers to the study focuses on the technology needed for the product development, resources available in the organization, materials and labors required, software and hardware requirements, outsourcing details, etc. Next, we'll go for organization feasibility. The study focuses on the professional background of the people in the organization, their capabilities and skills for accomplishing the task, organization legal structure, support required, etc. And then last one is financial or economically feasibility. In this, the study focuses on the breakup and total estimated cost involved in product development, amount of funding or startup capital needed, available resources of revenues, return of investment or positive economic benefits to the organization, investment for marketing products and sensitivity in the repayment capability to factors like time delay, increase in materials, or it may be labor costs, and then adverse economic conditions, etc. That is related to PLM feasibility study. Next, we'll go for introduction to PLM strategies. Here, strategy refers to a high-level plan in order to achieve one or more goals with the available resources. For example, we will take in the military environmental strategies include control of the seas, control of the air, and control of the land region, attacking with speed or strength, cutting down the enemy's communication lines or supply lines, and so on. PLM is a strategic business approach that enables companies to achieve greater profitability from their products. PLM success starts with PLM strategy, that is a plan that can help the organization attain its business objectives, and then establishing the governance and the continual executive leadership needed to facilitate success over the long period of time. And then these are uh, the main, the good, well defined and well communicated PL strategy is important for the following reasons. uh, First one is show how to achieve PLM vision and objectives. Show how PLM resource will be organized, managed and used. And then describe policies governing use and management of PLM resources. Make sure everybody knows about the happenings. And finally, make sure all resources are aligned in the right direction. A typical resources addressed by a PLM strategy include products data, IT applications, processes, methods, people and equipment. That is related to introduction to PLM strategy. Next we'll go for impact of PLM strategy. Here figure shows the PLM playback schedule, that is in three levels of impact. Here x-axis about number of years, and then y-axis is related to three playback schedules. Here 1 for 1, 10 for 1 and 100 for 1. Here applications, systems as well as strategy. And then the question of impact of PLM strategy has been examined by PLM research firms in order to attempt to quantify the effect of developing a PLM strategy. Here figure shows the different areas that can be cost organizations huge amounts of money that would be impacted by a coherent PLM strategy executed across the organization. Here figure also shows there are three levels of impact on the PLM payback schedule. Here PLM payback schedules vary both in magnitude and in time frame, depend upon the scope of PLM initiatives. Short-term PLM projects have a 1 for 1 pay. This is the short-term level. And then mid-term projects have 10 for 1. This is the second level, representing 10 for 1 payback. And then long-term projects have 100 for 1 payback. And then the question of impact of PLM. The short-term PLM ensures all obtained by implementing applications primarily within functional areas, while mid-term returns are obtained by implementing systems that cross two functional areas, and long-term higher payback is generated by developing and implementing an overall strategy of PLM. One of the reasons for substantial payback to strategy is that developing strategy does not require a huge consumption of resources. Every company, however big, have limited resources, but with a well-defined strategy, these resources can be organized, managed, and used efficiently and effectively for profitability of any organization. Thank you for patience listening. And then finally, we'll thank Dr. Pundarika Ji, Principal Government Engineering College, Ramnagar, their main LMS coordinator, and then moderator of this subject, Dr. D.P. Girish, Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government Engineering College, Ramnagar, and then main content developers, me, Dr. Muniraju, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government Engineering College, Chamarajnagar, and then one more person, Dr. Vanjara Kotresh, Professor, Government Engineering College, Haveri, and then Professor Chetan, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government Engineering College, Chamarajnagar. Thank you.